When she messages you again, the very first instinct most men have is to get overly excited, to jump at the chance to finally respond and to pour out everything they've been holding back. But that kind of overreaction is exactly what pushes her further away instead of drawing her in. The reality is, if she has reached out, there's already some curiosity on her end. Maybe she's wondering what you're doing, maybe she misses your energy, or maybe she just wants to test the waters to see if you're still available. No matter the reason, the last thing you should do is show desperation, because it communicates that you've been waiting for her all along. A man who keeps calm and composed sends a completely different message. He has his own life. He's not sitting around waiting for her, and she's re-entering a world that was moving forward without her. Confidence is not about saying the perfect thing. It's about the energy you carry into the interaction. If you come across like she's doing you a favor by messaging, you instantly lose the power in the exchange. But if you keep your tone neutral, light, and grounded, she will feel that you haven't been shaken by her absence. Women are highly sensitive to energy, and they can sense when a man is secretly thrilled or nervous. Your calmness creates intrigue because it's rare. Most men would immediately flood her with emojis, compliments, or long responses, but the man who replies without emotional overreaction separates himself from the rest. Think of it like this. If a woman disappeared from your life and then decided to reach back out, she already knows she has some level of access to you. By responding with calm energy, you show her that while you acknowledge her effort, you are not bending over backwards to accommodate her. You're still in your frame, still on your path, and she's the one stepping back into your orbit. That subtle shift of power makes her question why you're so composed and what you've been up to without her. When you stay calm and don't overreact, you turn her message into a moment that works in your favor. Instead of signaling neediness, you signal abundance. Instead of rushing to win her back, you let her feel the weight of missing you. And that calm, collected response is often what keeps you unforgettable in her mind. When she reaches out after silence or distance, one of the most powerful things you can do is keep your reply short, simple, and to the point. Many men make the mistake of thinking that the more they write, the more they'll impress her or win her back. They over-explain. They ask too many questions, and they let their excitement show through long, detailed texts. But in reality, a lengthy reply signals that you've been craving her attention and waiting for this moment. It shows that you value her message far more than she values yours. On the other hand, keeping your response short communicates that you're composed, busy, and not overly invested in trying to please her. The psychology behind short replies is simple. They spark curiosity. When you don't reveal too much, she starts to wonder what's going on in your life, what you're doing, and why you're not putting extra effort into chasing her. That curiosity makes her want to dig deeper. A short, confident response forces her to invest more if she wants the conversation to continue. Instead of you being the one fighting for her attention, she finds herself having to step up to earn yours. That's exactly the dynamic you want, because attraction grows when there's a sense of challenge. Think about how different it feels when someone writes a paragraph compared to a single confident sentence. The long paragraph feels heavy. It gives everything away and it kills the mystery. The short, grounded response feels light and powerful. It leaves space for her to put in effort, and that effort naturally draws her closer. Even something as simple as answering her message with a direct but calm reply shows that you're not overeager, you're responding, but you're not trying to force the interaction into something bigger than it needs to be. By keeping your replies short, you shift the energy of the conversation. You're not rewarding her with endless attention just because she decided to show up again. Instead, you're making her work to reconnect. That balance of effort is what reignites her respect and interest. And respect, when combined with curiosity, is what keeps you on her mind long after the conversation ends. When she reaches out to you again, one of the biggest traps men fall into is rushing to answer her right away. They see that message notification and instantly drop whatever they're doing to respond. On the surface, it might feel like you're being polite or showing interest, but in her eyes, it communicates something else entirely. That you're waiting on her, that you don't have much going on in your life, and that her attention is the most important thing you have. That energy doesn't create attraction, it kills it. Women are drawn to men who move with calmness and control, not urgency and desperation. By taking your time before replying, you send a powerful signal. You show that you're not sitting around craving her attention. You demonstrate that your life is full, that you have priorities, and that while you're willing to respond, you won't be doing it instantly just because she suddenly decided to message. This small action plants a seed of respect in her mind because it flips the dynamic. Instead of you chasing her, she begins to question why you're not rushing to reply, and that curiosity grows into renewed attraction. Again, it's attraction. It doesn't mean you need to play childish games or deliberately ignore her for days. It simply means that you respond when it fits naturally into your schedule. If you're busy, stay focused on what you're doing. If you're in the middle of something important, finish it before you even think about writing back. This approach keeps you centered in your own frame rather than hers. And women notice that difference immediately. Think of it like this. Every time you delay your response just a little, you're reminding her that your world doesn't revolve around her. That subtle reminder is exactly what makes her want to earn more of your time and energy. The man who replies instantly is easy to predict and easy to overlook. The man who replies when it makes sense to him is intriguing, valuable, and harder to forget. So when that message comes through, don't make the mistake of dropping everything for her. Take a breath, move with patience, and reply when you're truly ready. That calm control is what will keep her thinking about you long after the conversation ends. When she messages you again, the tone you choose to set in your response makes all the difference. Many men overcompensate by being overly sweet, apologetic, or needy, as if they have to prove why she should keep talking to them. But what actually creates attraction is balance. Being warm enough to show you're open to engaging, yet firm enough to keep the interaction on your terms. If she left you hanging before or disappeared, the worst thing you can do is act like nothing happened and pour your energy into her as if she never pulled away. That behavior communicates you have no standards, no self-respect, and it lowers your value instantly in her eyes. The right way to respond is with calm confidence. Keep your messages short, clear, and without unnecessary emotion. If she asks something simple, reply with a simple answer. If she seems playful, you can match her energy, but avoid chasing or trying to win her back through words. By staying grounded and measured, you project a presence that she has to meet, rather than you adjusting yourself to her. This subtle firmness makes her realize that your attention isn't given freely to anyone who suddenly reappears. It's earned. This is where tone becomes powerful. Instead of trying to convince her of your worth through over-explaining, let her feel your worth by the way you respond. A man who is centered doesn't need to type essays or beg for her time. He makes his point in a few words and then he gets back to his life. Women feel that energy more than anything else, and it creates a sense of respect. She may even find herself wondering if she still has the same influence over you that she once did. And that curiosity keeps her hooked. Remember, the goal isn't to punish her or act cold. It's to show through your tone that you value yourself first. She'll sense immediately whether you're leading the interaction or handing her control. And when you choose self-respect over approval seeking, she's far more likely to take you seriously and keep investing in the conversation. So when you respond, do it with composure and purpose. Keep it clear, keep it calm, and let your words reflect that you know your value. When she decides to message you again, one of the smartest things you can do is avoid diving into deep emotional conversations right away. Many men make the mistake of turning that first message into an opportunity to pour out their feelings, talk about the past, or demand answers for why she disappeared or pulled back. This instantly shifts the power dynamic in her favor because now you're making her the center of your emotional world. What you need to understand is that women are not drawn to men who unload everything onto them. They're drawn to men who know how to keep things light, positive, and intriguing, especially in the early stages of re-engagement. If she reaches out, she's testing the waters. She wants to see how you'll react. Will you come across as needy, trying to force clarity? Or will you come across as calm, playful, and a little mysterious? Keeping the interaction light doesn't mean being shallow. It means knowing the right timing. Save the heavy talks for later if they're even necessary. At first, your job is to reestablish yourself as a man who is stable, not shaken, and not desperate to figure her out. Instead of overloading the conversation, keep your replies smooth and easygoing. Share something interesting about your day. Use humor if it feels natural, or keep the chat short and leave her curious. This creates a subtle tension that works in your favor. The less you reveal, the more she wants to know. By contrast, the more you spill, the more predictable and unexciting you become. Think of it like a dance. When she steps forward, you don't need to rush to close the gap completely. You let her take a step, you respond with just enough to keep her interested, and then you leave space. That space is what allows her to lean in more. And when she feels like she's chasing your energy instead of you chasing hers, the attraction naturally builds again. So when that message comes through, resist the urge to get emotional or pour your heart out. Stay light, stay composed, and let her earn her way back into deeper conversations. That approach is what makes you unforgettable in her mind. When she messages you again, one of the strongest moves you can make is to avoid being constantly available. Too many men think that if they're always there to reply, always free to talk, and always ready to adjust their plans for her, it will make her appreciate them more. But the truth is, it does the opposite. When you show that you have nothing else going on, she quickly realizes she doesn't have to work for your time. And that lack of challenge kills attraction. A man who is truly respected by women is the one whose life is already full, whose goals, purpose, and routines don't get disrupted just because someone decides to send him a text. Being unavailable doesn't mean ignoring her completely or playing childish games. It means showing through your actions that your time is valuable. If you're busy, stay busy. If you're working on something, finish it before replying. If you already have plans, don't cancel them to accommodate her. By living this way, you naturally create scarcity around your attention, and scarcity is what makes it valuable. She begins to see you as a man who is not desperate, but disciplined. And that's the kind of man she respects. This also builds a sense of curiosity in her mind. When you're not instantly available, she starts to wonder what you're doing, who you're with, and why you're not rushing to answer her. That mystery pulls her in far stronger than any long conversation ever could. It shifts the dynamic from her testing you to her realizing she needs to earn more of your time. At the same time, this approach protects your self-respect. You're not bending over backward for someone who may not have been consistent in the past. Instead, you're showing that you'll welcome her back into your life only if it fits into your frame, your values, and your schedule. That calm control makes you stand out from every other man who jumps the second she gives them attention. So when she reaches out, don't fall into the trap of instant availability. Keep your priorities first, move at your own pace, and let her see that your attention is something rare. That's exactly what will keep you on her mind long after the conversation ends.